The first Eastern Roman Emperor. Roman Emperor Theodosius I died on January 17th, 395 AD, at the age of 48, leaving his empire in a state of chaos. The empire was split in half. The west was ruled by his son, 10-year-old Honorius. Theodosius' older son, Arcadius, was given the eastern half of the empire. When he was crowned emperor, Arcadius was under the guardianship of one of his father's trusted counsels, Rufinus, who pretty much ran the east while the young emperor rubber-stamped everything he told him. Unfortunately, Rufinus would be murdered several months later by a disgruntled Goth mercenary named Ganius, who worked for both Arcadius and his father Theodosius. With the death of Rufinus and not totally trusting his slayer Ganius, Arcadius put his faith in a court eunuch named Eutropius, who may have had a hand in killing the young emperor's appointed council. The eunuch weaseled his way into the emperor's inner court and even had a hand in arranging his marriage to Empress Eudoxia, whom Eutropius personally selected to be his bride. By the end of 395 AD, Arcadius' father died, he became emperor, his officially appointed council was murdered by his rival, and he took to listening to a court eunuch. Eutropius wormed his way for the next few years to be even closer to the emperor's side and eventually gained his confidence during the several rebellions that took place within the Eastern Empire against the Goths, Berbers, and later the Huns. His apple polishing finally paid off in 399 AD when he became the first eunuch to become a Roman consul, but all of his backdoor dealings, manipulations, along with the large amount of enemies he made, eventually got him exiled and later executed by the end of the year. 2 years prior to becoming consul, Eutropius in 397 AD used his influence to have John Chrysostomus installed as the Archbishop of Constantinople without his knowledge. John would become a powerful and popular religious figure amongst the common folk and the poor due to his refusal to hold lavish parties with the hoi polloi, which made him a lot of enemies within the imperial family and older church leaders due to his unwillingness to give them large cash handouts. Empress Eudokia, who felt slighted by John's comments about the extravagance of women's dresses in public, was directed towards her, made him her number one foe, and in 403 AD had him removed from his duties and sent off to be exiled in Armenia. But the commoners of Constantinople revolted and demanded that John be reinstalled or they would revolt and destroy the imperial palace. The angry public outcry, along with an earthquake struck the city when John was arrested, made Eudokia and Emperor Arcadius reconsider his removal and brought him back to Constantinople. In 404 AD, after bearing 5 surviving children for Arcadius, Empress Eudokia died on October 4th after her second stillbirth. Before her death, she had John removed from his position and exiled for a second and final time. Arcadius was a very weak-willed leader who leaned upon such strong-minded people as Eutropius, Empress Eudoxia, and Ganius, who eventually outlived all of them and turned to Eastern Roman statesman Anthemius, who would be appointed praetorian prefect for the emperor, but in reality he performed all the emperor's duties with Arcadius rubber-stamping them. During his time at the emperor's side, Anthemius repaired all of the damage that his predecessors Eudokia and Eutropius did during the past several years by ending political and personal feuds, quelling turmoil within the populace, and tried to establish friendlier ties with the West and their barbarian neighbors. Arcadius would die on May 1st, 408 AD at the age of 31. His body would be laid to rest within the Church of the Holy Apostle, where many of the Eastern Roman emperors would be later be buried in. Arcadius' 7-year-old son, Theodosius II, would be crowned emperor, with Anthemius acting as his advisor. Arcadius was an empty suit emperor like his brother Honorius, who ruled their respective empires through de facto rulers. By 476 AD, the Western Empire would suffer from depopulation, a dying economy, and under the rule of several barbarian tribes, while the East would thrive due to their strong economy and last for the next 1,000 years. Thanks for watching another episode of the Byzantine History of the Eastern Roman Empire. My name is Joseph Ulibas, and I hope to see you soon. And if you enjoyed this series, please subscribe to this channel.